What's going on, guys? We are back here with some more Edge of Eternity Standard, and if you are sick and tired of Vivi or Nitier, then you're in the right spot. So you'll notice this deck is labeled as Psycho Red, and we spent a little bit of time on stream over the past week or so getting basically destroyed by Vivi every time we played against it. And I said to myself, you know what? Let's see if there's anything we can do about that. Now, it just so happens that the Vivi Cauldron deck has a lot of cards in it that say draw on it. Screaming Nemesis, Tersa Light Shatter, Steam Core Scholar, Profs, Fear of Missing Out, Winter Night Stories, Cycling, Marauding Mako. Almost half of their deck draws a card. So what if there were ways that we could disincentivize them to draw cards? And there's a couple of ways to do that. Razorkin Needlehead, RR for a 2/2, whenever an opponent draws a card, deal 1 damage to them. And Scrawling Crawler, 3 mana for a 3/2. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card, and whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose a life. So the combination of both of these really can sort of put your Vivi opponent in a really awkward position where if they don't have a removal spell, which, to be honest with you, a lot of the more recent ones are trimming on some of the removal spells. Lists that I've seen floating around are usually playing 4 Into the Floodmaw and 2 Abrade. Sometimes you see a 3-3 split, but what I'm getting at is most of them are trimming on Torch the Tower. They're not playing that card in the main deck anymore. So they have less answers to stuff like Needlehead and Crawler on the battlefield. So if you can stick 2 of these in play, you're going to get your opponent into a position where sometimes they just can't even cast their draw spell to draw out of this mess that they're in to try and find the answer to remove your creature from play. That is really the genesis and the idea behind the deck. Basically, everything else is just burn cards. Boltwave, Burst Lightning, Plasma Bolt, Boros Charm. There's Opera Love Song to get a little bit of card advantage. Screaming Nemesis, best red card probably in the entire format outside of, well, Vivi is not necessarily a red card, but you know what I mean. A Hired Claw just to get the ball rolling. And then I'm actually playing a couple of Shardmage's Rescues, and it's kind of weird to see this without any Valiant cards or any enchantment synergies, but I really just want to protect the Needlehead and the Scrawling Crawler. That's the entire purpose of the Shardmages. So, I mean, look, if they only have one answer and you Shardmage is your thing, they're probably going to die that turn. Some dual lands and some basic mountains, nothing too fancy going on there. And then moving on to the sideboard, I've decided to put the Lynxes in the board. Sometimes in these red decks, you'll see Lynx in the main. Nova Hellkite, again, you see a lot of red decks playing 4 of this in the main. We're playing a lower land count, so I don't have the full 4, but this card is still very, very good against Dimir, so you still want them. Some Abrade, some Graveyard Hate, Magebane Lizard in case people are playing the wrong Vivi deck in Prowess, a couple of Rest in Peace for Graveyard Hate, and then some sweepers in the form of Fire Magic. So let's see if we can farm some Vivi players today we're just going to prevent them from drawing cards. Hopefully. I'll see you back here in just a little bit for round number 1. Hytro Hanzo, thank you for the 4-month resub. Yes, deck locked in for Orlando, although you're not going to like my answer. You're not going to like what I have to say. But it is locked in for Orlando, yes. It's the good deck. Yo, they're whacking my bush? You're whacking my bush live on stream? Can't do that. There's no reason besides finances to play anything but Vivi. Correct. Like, if there was a situation where, like, I didn't own Vivis or Cauldrons, and it would take, like, you know, an absurd amount of resources to try and get them, then I would consider not playing it. But, like, I have the cards. I can't even, you know what I mean? Realistically, I can't justify not playing it if I own the cards. It's just insanity, right? Like, the deck is so obviously, like, head and shoulders above everything else in the format. It's just not even close. Kind of want to just do this. I'll blot this. I think it's more damage next turn. The one thing that I'm probably going to have an issue with is getting Riddlers. So right now I own 0 copies, and I went to the SCGCon Orlando page today to try and find all the vendors, and I looked at every single vendor's online store, online website. Not a single one of them have any Riddlers in stock. SCG, cool stuff, every single one of them are sold out. So I started this morning calling some local game stores to see if they had any, and right now I have 2, but I still need 2 more. No friends with Riddlers? All my friends are playing this deck, and they're all playing their Riddlers. So, like, yeah, it's like, yes, I know people who own them, but they're also all playing the deck. They run 4 now? I think they should run 4, yes. Like, I didn't do the math, but I'm just going to assume this is lethal. I hope it's lethal. It looks pretty lethal to me. It can't possibly not be lethal. I mean, I didn't do the math, but I wasn't gonna do the math. They run 4 copies now? So a lot of the lists online leading up to this weekend were not playing 4 Riddlers. And then if you go look at the NRG results, the finals of the NRG was a Vivi Cauldron Mirror, and both players were playing 4 Riddlers. 2 main, 2 sideboard. And I think a lot of the lists at the MXP event in Phoenix were also playing 4 Riddlers. So, to answer your question, I think it's correct to play 4. I think that card is busted as shit. What are they doing? Delirium stuff? Delirium. Dude, I put these crawlers and Razorkins in my deck, and then I just never play against Vivi. Like, what the shit? If I buy from Card Kingdom, can they next day air it to me? How much do you think next day air would cost? Surely it's more than the cost of the Riddlers themselves, right? It has to be. I think 50 is low. It's gotta be more than 50, right? But that is the only card that I'm missing. I have I own every other card except Riddler. So if I can source 2 more Riddlers, then we're good. And I feel like I should be able to. Like I said, I called some LGSs. I already found 2. Just gotta find 2 more. And I haven't even called all the LGSs, so. Yeah, TOA is sold out as well. TOA is gonna be in Orlando, and every single vendor that's in Orlando is sold out. And I checked all their websites. They're all sold out. No discard, huh? No discard. Sus. Next day always turns into 2 to 3 days. I mean, look, as long as it gets here before Friday, then I'm good, right? Because I'm leaving Friday morning, but if it got here Thursday, then I'd be fine. I tweeted earlier. I tweeted it earlier, but I hadn't got a response yet, so. Can always ship it to your hotel? I mean, I guess I could, yeah. So I could get there Friday. I was trolling Rosie Dog. I'm not gonna actually do second day air. I'll be able to find them. Because there's probably 10 LGSs that I could call that are like within an hour drive of me. and I have only called 3 of them, and I've already found 2. So I think I'll probably be able to find 2 more from the other LGSs. But the issue is now I have to drive an hour to go get them, you know, which is fine. I mean, that is what it is. I don't think I'm winning this game. I'll be honest with you. It's not looking great. We're at 11. Okay, that helps. Can I race now? I think I can race, right? I'm just going to do this now because we know they don't have a protection spell. Because they would have killed my Hired Claw if they had a pump spell in hand last turn. Cards am I scrambling for? I need 2 Quantum Riddlers. I own every other card for Vivi Cauldron except 2 Riddlers. Oh, I like that. That's nice. Top 2 coming in. When Vivi on stream? Oh, man, I don't know. I mean, maybe, like, later in the week I'll play a little bit of it, but not yet, you know? I don't know, not yet. It's a good thing I did that before attacking, huh? Although I guess that's not true. Because if they went to cast the Overprotect, then I would have just blown them out, so... Do I like the Split of Rip Vacuum? I mean, it's close. I'm not sure which one is better than the other. I think they're, like... The reason that I like them in different situations is this one's cheaper, but this one is, like... This one is better in matchups where the graveyard matters a lot more, like this matchup, you know what I mean? Am I just dead? Okay, I'm at 5. Activate my Hired Claw! So yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Like, I think Rest in Peace and Ghost Vacuum, again, they're good in different spots. It's the sad reality is that, like, if I want to have any chance, then I have to play the deck. It's we're in a 1-deck format, you know? Okay, I tried everything except Control. I will say that. Everything but Control. But I would never play Control. Nah, the Teamer deck's not quite good enough. Like, the Teamer deck is just not fast enough, and it doesn't have enough interaction. Like, it's playing no-kill spells, you know? Like, that's not where you want to be. I want to be a crawler. Rude. Rude. Okay, this one definitely resolves, though, for sure. This one resolves 100%. I mean, I might as well Boltwave them now, if they're going to flip Cecil anyways. Actually, no, I'm going to trade, right? Yeah, I just trade because they have to go to 3. Okay, can't trade now. Oh, wait, they're just dead. Right, they're just dead. Okay. Well, I guess I'll kill you. I didn't even need the Slickshot, but okay, dude. Crawler plus Needlehead is kind of fucking nice. Oh my goodness. When you draw both of them together, it cooks. It absolutely cooks. That was odd, right? Played Pixie and got the 700. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. wanting to build your first standard deck, and I'm indecisive between blue-white or black-white catcher. Probably blue-white control. Sir Necroman, welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Yeah, a big deciding factor for me in choosing to play the Vivi deck was I sat down and I spent probably about 7 hours this weekend specifically dedicated to testing Pixie versus Blue-Red Cauldron. That's it. We played 30 games, 15 pre-board, 15 post-board. Pre-board, Pixie went 10-5. Post-board, Pixie went 1-14. And it was at that point I was like, okay, we just can't do this anymore. Like, I'm losing every single sideboard game because they just always draw Fire Magic. And I was just like, I've had enough of that. I'm good. Like, I can beat them game one when they don't have Fire Magic, but if they ever draw this card post-board, it's impossible. Pixie just has such a hard time beating this card. Dimir. Okay, these cards are good. Excuse me. I'm gonna try cutting Boros Charm against them. Yeah, we tried blue-black a little bit against Vivi too. We didn't spend as much time on blue-black versus Vivi, but it was... We played enough games and enough situations came up that, like, I feel like Vivi is pretty heavily favored against blue-black. I don't like this hand. I don't hate this hand. This is what I'm talking about, man. You just, like, you draw Fire Magic in these matchups, and it's just like, how the fuck do they win? Alright, well, that card's good. Yeah, that was the other thing, too. Bulokane brings up a good point. It's like, even in the games where they don't draw it, you still have to respect it. And, you know, if they, like, if you play around it and they don't have it, then you're just giving them more time. And it's like, it's just kind of brutal. This Nova Hellkite's not that good here. Go, I guess? Kind of getting cooked by this Preacher. Dude, how are we still both at 11? God damn it, what is happening? How the fuck are we still both at 11? Preacher is so broken. Yeah, I can't beat that. Cannot beat that one. Alright. Yeah, it's one of the best sideboard cards against everybody who's not playing Vivi. Because the thing is, the people who aren't playing Vivi are trying to just lower their curve as much as possible to go under Vivi, and that's where Fire Magic just KOs them, you know? Like this deck, for example. How does this deck ever beat a Fire Magic? It's just impossible, right? Like, I just, like, go 1, 2, 3, and they Fire Magic me, and it's like, alright, GG's. They gotta have something here, right? I mean, if they don't have a kill spell, I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to play into their counter spells. Go. I'll hold the Boltwave. Maybe plotting was better. Garcia. That's a little awkward. Can't really attack now. What do you think they'll announce meta share for the tourney? So deck submissions are due, I believe, Friday night. They probably won't have the metagame until early on Saturday, like Saturday morning, most likely, is when they'll probably have it. Boltwave. Now, we have not played against Vivi yet. So this is just lethal? Yeah, okay. Planes? That's not Vivi colors. Oh, it's the beer guy? I mean, it could be. Maybe they just like beer. It's turn 2. Why are you lands am I writing me? It's turn 2 of the game. I guess that means they drew a land that turn. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Well, now I know why they said lands am I right. I get it now. Scrawling in my skin, these wounds they are healing. They look cooked. They look very, very cooked. Dude, this deck is hot. I mean, it's good against people who don't play their third land, I guess. Free Gamba, by the way. Absolutely free Gamba right now. So, you know, sometimes if towards the end of the season, if my ranking is high enough, I'll try to make a push, but... Oh. Oh, I see. That is not what I expected. They smoke screened? Shit. Well, that's bad. Go. I guess they smoke screened into blue-white auras. Let them cook. They're gonna cook. I don't have any interaction. They're cooking. They're gonna cook the shit out of me this game. Well, at least I got a plan. It's Monday and Untapped isn't working. Oh, so you're saying it's a day of the week that ends in AY and Untapped isn't working? Weird. That's why they were saying lands am I right the whole time. I get it now. They probably can't kill me next turn, right? I don't think they can kill me next turn. They can probably kill me next turn. I mean, we definitely didn't have lethal that turn. I can't imagine that's good for me. Can't imagine that's good for me. I think we might get a turn. That sounds like cope. That sounds like a lot of cope. Didn't get a turn. Okay, well, now we know what they're actually playing, and I can sideboard up these fucking Sunspine Lynxes. I'm boarding the Plasma Bolts back in. I will say the Crawler Needlehead's probably good against them. Just don't play Rescue. I mean, we're on the play, so it's fine. This hand's kind of cheeks, isn't it? This hand looks cheeks as hell. Okay. Better. I can work with this. Better. What's up, Queen Reki? How you doing today? Games have been alright. We haven't played against Vivi today. Even though I'm just building decks that specifically target Vivi. The Vivi players are... They're too scared, you know? They're like, oh, I got this guy with Scrawling Crawler and Razorkin Needlehead in the queue. I can't queue up Vivi today. So I get it. You know, I get it. Oh, banger alert. Hired Claw. Who believes in emergency bans? I don't think they're going to do an emergency ban. I haven't, like, recorded my thoughts on this. I do want to make a YouTube video discussing this, but my take on the situation is they will likely not do an emergency ban. They'll probably just wait till November. I think the only way they would, like, even consider an emergency ban if Cauldron was, like, 60+% of Orlando, which it could be. I guess that is a possibility, but I don't find that very likely. I think the percentage of Cauldron is probably going to be about 30 to 35, would be my guess. Because there is a card availability issue, you know? These cards are not easy to acquire. Like, I myself have been spending 24 hours looking for Quantum Riddlers, and nobody has them, you know? And it's like, I can't be the only person in that boat. Just buy some Back's Forehead. I could. Is Jack gonna fund my pack buying addiction? Are they sold out in the US? I couldn't find them. I've looked at, okay, so the number of places I've looked at 9 online dealers, and I've looked at like 5 LGSs. And I've only been able to source 2 copies so far. So I got 2. I'm halfway there, but... Laughing Dragon 20k was 33% Cauldron day 1 and 65% day 2. My brother in Christ. Why are they attacking? I don't want to take it. Oh, they have Shardmages. That's why they're attacking. Okay, I get it. Right? They definitely have Shardmages. Because why else would they attack there? You ever just leave the Nemesis back? I mean, leaving Nemesis back is kind of bad if they have another Sheltered. I'm just going to send. Brother. I guess I could have shocked the Nemesis there. That might not have been that bad of a play. Yeah. Instead of pumping the claw, shock the Nemesis. Yeah, that play is probably better. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I kind of forgot they were going to 2 off of the Crawler trigger. Well, no, because if I shock the Nemesis, it's 2 damage, but it's 1 less from the claw, so they'd be at 1, right? But they couldn't gain life this turn, which is certainly better. Yeah. Now they're attacking. I mean, they are dead on board, so... Brother, ooh. I mean, that's more than enough, right? Do you think that was a sincere nice deck? I feel like it wasn't. I don't think that was a sincere nice deck. Just Golgari midrange, but utilizing Ouroboros to put counters on Demon Wall. I thought that was kind of cool. Did a bunch of 5-0 lists. So I've looked at those lists, the Golgari lists with Ouroboros, and none of them have Demon Wall. At least the ones that I looked at. I haven't seen a single one with Demon Wall. I've seen Ouroboros in Golgari with Mosswood, Sentinel, that kind of stuff, but I haven't seen any of them with Demon Wall. Speaking of, how do I beat this card? Well, shit. This is bad. I mean, the good news is they probably can't give their creature trample, right? Right? I don't think they can give trample this turn. Just give me a land, please. Please just give me a land. All I need is a land, chat. I could take 16. I'm in. Fuck! I just need a fucking land! Come on, man! Don't do this to me. Okay, I can attack this turn. Yeah. Okay. I mean, there's a good chance they have a way to give trample, but I can't beat it, you know? Like, I can't play around anything. I have to try and kill them next turn. Oh, okay. Well, that kills me. That does kill me. They're cooking. They're cooking. Is any of this good against them? Let's just run it back. But none of the other green decks were playing it. Okay, here's a question for the paper enjoyers out there. What type of shock lands do you have? Or, like, what type of shock lands do you prefer? Are you a Galaxy guy? Are you a retro? Are you an OG, like, original Ravnica block or a Ravnica block? Yeah, RTR is the ones that I started with because they were the cheapest. So I initially started with RTR, and then I've slowly been upgrading RTR to retro. The retro ones just look so good, man. There's just something really special about the retro ones. They're so good. I'm in danger, by the way. I'm in danger. Infinity is the truth. Yeah, those ones aren't terrible either. I have a soft spot for the retro ones. RTRs because that's when I started playing pretty much. Yeah, that's fair too. It's like whatever one is more nostalgic for you. The RTR ones look good too, you know? Like they're definitely, the RTR ones do look nice. It's kind of fucked up. That is the downside to playing artifacts, is your opponents can kill artifacts. Well, your turn. I did draw land 3. Yeah, I recently, see, the thing is I was getting into Retro Shocks anyways for Modern. Like, I've been slowly acquiring some of the Retro Shocks over the past couple of sets. And there was, like, one event, the event that I played Eldrazi in, I got Stomping Grounds. The event that I played Phoenix in, I got Steam Vents. There was an event that I played, the, like, Rakdos back in DC, I got Blood Crypts. I was slowly starting to get them for Modern anyways, and them getting reprinted into Standard was just an excuse for me to just get all of them, so now I have all of them in Retro. The Retro ones look so fucking good. I know, dude. Ross gave me so much shade for my Mirrodin Annul choice. I can't believe that. Look, I get it. I understand the preference for retro borders, the Urza Saga ones, but I mean, it's just, you know, Mirrodin is when I started playing. I have a soft spot for Mirrodin. Like, under most circumstances, I do tend to prefer retro borders, if at all possible. But specifically when it comes to like, Annul, just, if I have an opportunity to play a card from Mirrodin block, I'm gonna play it. Because that's when I started. I am reluctantly gonna keep this hand. Everybody says that Cobblade was bad. I don't know, man. I quite enjoyed Cobblade. I thought the Cobblade mirrors were nice. And you guys know I'm not a control player, and I still enjoy playing Cobblade mirrors. I'm not saying worst all time. I'm saying, given the two options, which one is worse? Because they're both within recent memory. Yes, I know these are not, like, if you were to rank the top 5 worst standard formats of all time, these might not even make the list. I'm just specifically asking if comparing A to B, which is worse, A or B. I'm not asking for, you know, things that are worse than A or B. I just want to know which one of the two recent ones are worse. That's what I'm asking. What's the poll looking like? Let me look at results. We got 55% Cutter, 45% Vivi. I don't know, man. I mean, they're both pretty bad, but, like, I at least feel like the Cutter mirrors, you had more decisions. Maybe I'm capping, but for me, I thought that the Cutter mirrors had more decisions than the Vivi mirrors, but that's just my opinion. I'm only one man, you know? I'm capping so hard. Am I? I don't know. Am I capping? I don't know if I'm capping that much. It just feels like there's a lot more blowout games with the Vivi mirrors. I don't know. Part of the reason I think that is just the overall curve of the Cutter deck was lower, so you had more decisions early, and you had more decision points that you could get wrong. And I feel like the Cauldron deck, due to the higher curve, and just overall, like, on average, you have less decisions in a given turn. That's kind of where I land, you know? Like, sometimes you look at a cutter opening hand, and there's like 10 different ways you could play it, and I don't feel that way about the Cauldron deck. Do I cast Opter Sleight of Hands first? Well, that's the thing. There is a meaningful difference between casting Opter Sleight of Hand first. And a lot of that depends on, like, what you're looking for. Do you need lands first? You know? Like, would you rather have the decision on looking at 2 spells front-loaded, or do you want that later on in the game? Like, there's a meaningful difference between casting one of those 2 cards early on. Like, it's not, you know... Dude, they're attacking. They just said, I don't give a shit. They're at 17. Is there any way that I can survive one more combat step? No, right? 9, they go to 8. Crawler puts them to 7, then they go to 6. The Charm puts them to 2. So I guess if I block this turn, they're dead to a Burst Lightning. Yeah, so I have to block this turn. And I guess... Yeah, leave this back in case I draw a second Hired Claw, because that would also kill them. Yeah, I think this makes sense. Don't. Why not? Why would I not? You have line. Well, too late. What was your line? Close, but not quite. On board and give double attack. Why would that be better? They have 2 blockers. Vinku, thank you for the Prime 5 months. Welcome back. Thank you. So if well, the thing is I have to chump block that turn. I can't take both because they're lethal. So I have to at least block with one of my things. So if I don't block with Nemesis, I have to chump block with Claw. And then I still only have 2 attackers, right? You realize that if I give their creature double strike, it still kills the Nemesis before the second... But, like, first strike damage would kill the Nemesis, and then it wouldn't take damage a second time. Because it would already be dead before the second damage. That doesn't work. Do I have an out? 6, 2... Okay, I think my only out is to Love Song into 2 1-mana burn spells. That is not 2 1-mana burn spells. Yeah, I mean, I'm close. I'm 1 short. 1 damage short, huh? Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying... let them go to combat after the Ouroboros pump, then I can go, yeah, because, yeah, after that it would get bigger. I see what you're saying. That would have worked, yeah. And then give their creature first strike on that turn. That would have worked, yeah. I didn't see that line. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That was a cool line. I just didn't see it.